You know, it feels like a real-world case of Ted Lasso. Yeah, I don't know if you ever saw Ted Lasso. Ted Lasso, with Jason Sudeikis, is about a football coach who goes to England to take over a soccer team. And he doesn't know anything about soccer, but he is a master motivator. And in turn, the team responds. They become a better team, and you see real results. Well, that is very similar to a new study conducted by Gallup, where they say there's a crisis developing in workplaces because employee engagement dropped to a 7-year low in 2022. Only a third of workers reported feeling engaged at work, while almost a fifth of the people described themselves as actively engaged. And that's a problem. So in turn, what are companies doing to combat this? Well, they're actually hiring coaches. They're hiring coaches to be master motivators in allowing people to do their work. Coach Michael Lin is a leadership expert who speaks to companies all over the United States on how to create a workplace culture that elevates a company's productiveness. Coach, great to have you with us. Is this a new phenomenon? Because it makes a lot of sense from the standpoint of coaches know how to bring the best out in a lot of cases, players, your team. But there's a real sense of team building and working together that I think a lot of companies look at and say, that's a quality we want to have here.
Yes. So you see, America today is a knowledge-based economy. Most workers here in America, if not all of them, are knowledge workers. See, for knowledge workers, they understand their job security comes from their skill set, okay, their updated skill set. So as a corporation, as a company, if you treat employees like the printer used until it dies and replaced, they are not going to like it. So they're going to be disengaged. But if you treat employees like human with self-interest, okay, then they're going to like it. So what are their self-interest? They want to update their skill set so not only they can earn today, they can also earn 20 years down the road and then earn more. That's why coaching is important.
What is it specifically about in this case, the way that you can engage with employees? Because, I think people, just like when you're in school or you're on a team, everybody learns differently. Everybody has different ways of absorbing information. Is it important for leaders in the workplace, and in this case, coaches, is it important for them to understand how their team, how their workforce learns and how they absorb information so that they can maybe address the same information but differently with other people?
Very much so. Very much so. I would say we can easily put the areas that employees want to learn into 5 different categories. Okay. The first thing is they want to learn how to do their jobs better. And if we could use a sports language, that'll be, how do I play basketball by myself? How do I manipulate this ball better? And secondly, they want to learn, okay, organizational knowledge about the company. That is, if it's in sport, it's how do I play with other team members? So back in business, they want to know, how do I get this thing done? So the boss, who is a coach, will say, you need a collaboration from the other team within the company. And you need to collaborate with so-and-so. So that's the second thing. And the third thing is, in a corporation is, okay, so I need to collaborate with so-and-so from a different team. How do I do that? How do I get him to want to work with me? The other person might be busy. The other person might have some different ideas. The other person might want to do this thing with you, but by going left, but you want to go right. So this is where you need to teach your team members the skill of influence and persuasion, is to how to build collaborative environments so other people will work with you rather than work against you. And number 4 is industry knowledge. In our industry, who are the players? How is the money being earned and spent? Who is the true customer? Who is the true vendor? Let's again use sports, for example. Okay. Now let's say if I'm playing on a basketball team and you playing on the opposing basketball team, do you really want to kill me? I need to understand, okay, we're competing, but without you, without the competing team, there's no basketball business. People will not be paying money to watch you playing against me. So that's industry knowledge. And then number 5 is wisdom on life. So as you are learning new skills, as you are developing your skill sets, as you're learning all this industry knowledge, you're going to come upon obstacles and roadblocks all the time. Why? Because you're doing things you've never done before. So as you come across roadblocks, obstacles, do you feel like, oh, why is the universe against me all the time? Or do you feel like, this is a learning opportunity. I'm going to expand. I'm going to stretch my mind. Mm-hmm. This is just like the coach make me lift up heavy stuff and put it back down so my muscle will grow.
You know, it's interesting because I think we've also seen in the way that companies hire their employees, right? We've seen how valuable that companies look at former athletes, for example, because those athletes, they while they may not know the exact traits of a job or what it takes and they may not go in with that knowledge. Generally, former athletes are quick learners. They are advantageous in the sense that they take advantage of opportunities, and they're very, very diligent. Like you mentioned, whether you're in the weight room, whether you're watching tape of your opponent so you can better game plan. There are traits that employers look for in employees that would help them maybe not only get the job done, but then also whip up support amongst the employees. How important is it, do you think, the shift in maybe mindset is for employers to look at their employees as athletes and that particular skill set that they can bring to the table?
It's extremely important. Both individual contributor employees as well as managers who are also employees of the company. Mm-hmm. You see, one of the thinking that's not helping a lot of the managers is they think, well, I told you so, why don't you just obey? Yeah. They fail to realize if they were in the shoes of their employees and they just been told to do this in the harsh tone they have been told, okay, they would themselves feel the same way, which is, well, why are you so cold-blooded? Mm-hmm. Maybe I should quit tomorrow. Okay, so managers also need to expand their thinking, be like athletes. So this is a new skill set in addition to my existing skill. So learning how to coach people, how to influence and persuade, how to treat my employees like human beings as opposed to printers is just a new addition to my existing skills. Once I develop this new expanded skill set of how to coach people, I'm going to have a much more loyal of a team. And they are going to be much more happier to follow my directions. Sure. And also, because I become a much more effective leader, my career as a manager will go places. Do you think organizations will be coming after you?
Sure. Do you think more companies would look to make these kind of changes in their managers, go to a more coaching style of management?
Yes, slowly but surely.
Sure.
Slowly but surely, more and more companies are realizing this.
Well, and I think, and it probably to a certain extent is taking these companies out of their comfort zone a little bit, right? They want somebody who's a task manager and who might be able to really whip up a team in the sense of what they're doing, the product, the IT, whatever it is. But if you step outside the box, which can become uncomfortable for some companies, you may see some better results. Coach Michael Lin, appreciate the insight. Very interesting stuff.
Thank you.